Hello, everyone, and welcome to Metro TV. I'm your host, Andy Hoig, publisher and CEO of Metro Magazine. We have a special episode today talking with organizations, nonprofits, and businesses about how they're being impacted and also dealing with the coronavirus. So don't go away. We will be right back.
Well, I am so excited to have with me today from the AIM Institute, Tony Veland. He is Director of Community Engagement, and Maria Brady, Membership Development and Retention Coordinator. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
having us.
having us.
So we're in an ever-changing world right now, and I know the AIM Institute, as so many nonprofits, is no different with looking at what's going on, how things are going in your organization. So let's just talk first about how does the nonprofit AIM Institute growth in the Omaha area tech sector? Foster growth, sorry. How do you foster growth?
Yeah, of course. So the AIM Institute takes a holistic approach to identifying the needs within our community, along with something that we call the tech talent continuum. This is comprised of middle school age children all the way to mid-level career professionals who are interested in learning more about technology. So we focus on providing the opportunity to teach the hard skills involved with tech, but also the soft skills that are critical for building confidence, teaching collaboration, and then also developing the future leaders of tech within our own community. So we are able to take an individual approach to each individual, whether new to tech or already experienced, and we get them connected with career navigators, mentors, and the resources that we are able to provide to help find them a career in tech within our own community.
Yeah, I mean, and that is so important. That's just so important in today's world of technology and being able to reach just that younger population, and everything you do in between is important. So I want to talk a little bit about diversity and inclusion in the tech field. And Tony, why don't you take it away on that question?
Well, we focus on groups of individuals who historically have lacked access to this field. The diversity numbers for the tech industry are rather low, hovering in the 6 to 8% area for Hispanic and African American representation. We aim to increase those numbers for two reasons. The first being opportunity. If you look at the industry itself, it's poised to grow by 24% over the next 5 years, which means more positions will be available. And furthermore, this ends up being what we call the $1 million decision. Individuals who are actually starting out in the tech field can earn up to $30,000 more than any other field out there. So when you spread that over, an individual 30-year career or 40-year career, that's more than $1 million. That's real money. And so the second reason is because it makes business sense. Now, numerous studies have been done that talks about the more diverse workforce that you have, the better they ideate, the more productive that they are, and the more profit that is earned in the end. So no longer is it just a moral or an ethical decision to increase diversity. Now it's a fiscal one. So we want to do whatever we can to continue to push things in the right direction.
Yeah, and again, so important. And that's amazing. I mean, when you say look at that over 30 to 40 years, what that means financially to an individual or to their family and whatnot, that's big stuff. So just really important. Let's talk about having a strong tech community and why that's important to Omaha.
Well, one of the biggest reasons that's important is because it's really a prerequisite for growth of our local economy. When you think about the shortage of skilled workers that we have here, unfortunately, there's a negative impact to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars that our economy doesn't even get a chance to experience. So that's money that could be affecting our tax base to help with roads or to renovate, rundown areas. It's more money that could be in people's pockets to uplift families and to also build business. So it's very important that we continue to do our part to help provide for that need, because it helps strengthen the overall community and the business community simultaneously. So it really it really shows how important the impact that we're actually having in the overall local economy here in Omaha.
And then kind of the next question off of that is, how can we support, because that's important. So as all organizations, all nonprofits, you rely on support from the community, the fundraising aspect. And, with everything going on right now with COVID-19, and I think it's even more important, and people who are passionate about your mission, how can people help you? What is the support that the community can give you in helping with the mission and building Omaha, the tech talent community?
That's an excellent question. Thank you. To support our mission, we at AIM would really love to get connected with other tech professionals here in Omaha, whether that is because they have interest in volunteering with some of our youth and tech programming, which we still have operating currently, even in the course of the pandemic. But we'd also like to get connected with these tech professionals to get them involved with our tech events and conferences. The other aspect too is, of course, to follow us on social media and to check out our website at theaiminstitute.org. We always have a lot going on. 2020 hasn't stopped any of our progress, and we've actually expanded a number of our programs. The other aspect too is, if you are able, we would really appreciate any donation that's possible. Being a nonprofit, we really survive on the support from our local community. And we'd really appreciate a donation towards continuing our youth and tech programming, along with a scholarship fund that we have for our accredited code school.
Very important. I know people can find out a lot of that information on your website to make donations and all kinds of information, which is aiminstitute.org. I really want to just dive in the last few minutes about the work that you're doing with elementary, middle, and high school students, which being able to start at that age, that just sets people up for success. So take it away.
I agree. It's really one of the reasons why I decided to jump on board with AIM, because of what we do to provide for kids who are underrepresented in our community. We provide free tech education experiences to kids aged 7 to 17 to stimulate interest into the areas of STEAM. The goal is to push them towards an industry that abounds with opportunity from a career perspective, but also to direct them down a path that could really change the trajectory of their lives. Kids get a chance to learn about 3D gaming, 3D printing, coding, drone tech, etc. And the consistent exposure towards these types of experiences will really help to remove any limiting beliefs that a lot of these kids place on themselves early on. And so when you think about a kid's chance of truly being successful long term, unless they, that limiting belief is removed, it's really hard for them to really experience that. So we're really proud of the work that we do. We understand that a number of the kids that we work with don't come from ideal backgrounds and situations. And so any help that we can provide them to be more successful and to expose them to a field that can really change their lives is really something that we're proud of. And we're happy that we do that, but we want to do it in a bigger way. So even with some of the things that Maria was talking about, being able to have individuals get involved from a mentoring standpoint, a volunteering standpoint, or a donation standpoint will really help us to be able to further our cause.
Yeah. I mean, again, thank you both, and thank you for AIM, for doing all you do in the community, because technology, like you said, Tony, that's something that the future of technology, that's just where we are, where it's going. It's going to be constantly changing, and it's not going away.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. And let's be honest, everybody already uses technology. They already use it.
Right.
And our biggest goal is to change the mindset from just being a consumer to learning how to be a creator, how to create your own path, how to be successful
Exactly.
long term.
Yeah. And asking, my favorite question now is what else is possible? What else is possible? And when you ask that question, it just opens up so much space
Yeah.
in the world to really create whatever you want to create.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that kind of sticks out to me right now is if you've paid attention to what's going on with the Davis Global Center and, what's happening with IXL and UNMC, we have a state-of-the-art facility that is cutting-edge technology that is the best on the planet. And that's here in Omaha. And that is amazing. For somebody who's from Omaha, that's amazing. So to see those types of advances that are happening, we're just hoping that it's going to touch other areas. And we want to be able to expose our kids to things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what a great conversation. Maria, Tony, thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to coming back, maybe early next year and having another conversation and kind of just seeing, where are we at now and what's happening. So again, thank you both so much for being here with me today.
Thank you, and we look forward to it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Andy.
You're welcome. And we will be right back. Well, welcome everybody. I'm here with Andrea Skulkin. She is the Chief Executive Officer for One World Community Health Centers, Inc. Andrea, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
There are so many things going on in the world, in our nation, and really in our communities as well. And One World, what your organization does, it helps so many people on so many different levels and so many different areas. So I'm just going to ask you straight out, One World Health Centers in a nutshell, just kind of give us the overview.
One World provides healthcare, medical, dental, behavioral health, and pharmacy services to the community, but we target our services to people who we call underserved. So that means it's affordable healthcare and easier access for low-income minority populations or people who don't have automobiles, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this is our 50th year in providing good quality healthcare.
Yeah. So this is a big milestone for you, the 50th anniversary for the organization. And can you speak to kind of like what things obviously have changed over the last 50 years significantly, especially, I think in what people need and how many people you are serving, because it's a big population. And can you talk a little bit about maybe how the needs have changed over the years?
I would say the needs haven't really changed.
Okay.
How we provide care has.
Okay.
And we started very grassroots volunteer in the basement of a church. Today we're fully modern, high technology, but we retain that high touch and we provide the best quality care just like any other health system in the community. We have that available here at One World. And over time, there's a lot more technology, but the skills of our clinicians are the basic skills that they're taught in medical or dental school, pharmacy, and they use them every day, just higher tech.
Yep. Yeah. And let's just talk a little bit about COVID-19, because I know everybody's been impacted. So in regards to One World, has anything changed, or what have you seen, or how have you had to like pivot, or talk a little bit about that?
We've had huge change at One World. Since the beginning of March, we had to turn on a dime, as they say, and we had to protect ourselves, protect our patients, and protect the communities that we serve. So that terminology is called PPE, and we had to acquire everything and continue to acquire it and protect everyone. Additionally, we began in telehealth. We had been doing telehealth in behavioral or mental health, but not in primary care. And that was a huge change, and a change for patients, let alone the providers that provide it. We changed how our pharmacy operates to deliver medications, to have a walk-up window. There's just been a huge number of changes that we've had to implement in a very, very short window. So I could go on with a multitude of changes.
Sure.
But in summary, I would say, just to make things more accessible, the use of telehealth and some innovative things in our pharmacy, and also in dental care, as well as some high-tech UV machines that burn up the virus so that we can care for you without worry.
Well, I know you've got this 50th anniversary event coming up, which I want to talk about that. But before we get into this, I usually ask this at the very end of the conversation, but I'm going to ask you it now. So people in the community, I mean, you need help, and with the event coming up, that's how you get donations, and people are able to contribute back to you. But how can people contribute to One World and really donate, like at this particular time? What can people do to support you?
You can do just about anything. You can go to our website for our annual dinner, which is November 5th. It's virtual, like all events these days, and register and make a donation or buy a ticket and watch our history, which is being done in a very unique way using sand art and storytelling, as well as we have COVID awardees, organizations, or people that really helped us this year in providing care during COVID. There are other ways too, though during this time period, our volunteerism, we've kind of slowed down, but that is another way as things begin to open up. We have a food pantry on site, and we're always looking for that. We have a baby boutique on site for our prenatal moms. We have a large population of women that we care for, and babies, and they need lots of things. So it doesn't have to be money. It can be diapers. It can be onesies. Those kinds of things are very important. We often have families that maybe need shoes and socks or need coats. That's another way that we help families. And in our literacy center, we need people to help us when COVID slows down, help us with reading and English language skills. So there's just a myriad of opportunities.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, there again, you reach such a vast population that needs help, and gosh, your organization provides so much. So let's talk about the event, because I've got my invitation here.
Good. I'm glad you got one.
Yeah, I got the invitation, and I got it several weeks ago. But I want to dive in a little deeper to the event. Like you said, it is a virtual event, like so many nonprofits right now are going virtual, and this is a big milestone. It's the 50th anniversary, and as I'm reading through it, you talked about Sand Story, and so you got the featured speaker, which once you're on the virtual, you're going to be talking to this gentleman, Joe Castillo? Castillo. Okay.
Yes.
World-renowned artist and America's Got talent finalist. So tell us a little bit about him, because he's a pretty amazing guy.
He is really amazing. I happened to be, I don't know if it was a year or 2 years ago, I saw him on the show and I thought he should have won. Hands down, it was amazing. He told his story. It's through art and it gets projected through the sand, and he is just amazing. So I searched him out, I found him, and was able to have him now virtually do his work. And then we actually had to write our history. We had bits and pieces, but we didn't have it all together. So the 50th anniversary gave us a chance to kind of talk about our beginning, our middle, and where we are, and then be able to tell that story as well. Though we're not doing it at the dinner, we committed an oral history or made an oral history. So One World has it forever. And so it'll be very interesting. And it's just amazing to watch. Unless you've ever seen it, you cannot believe what he does.
Yeah, well, I'm actually excited. I'm going to get my ticket. It's Thursday, November 5th. There is a silent auction that people can bid on. Is a silent auction up ahead of time, or is it just during the evening?
We're going to open the silent auction a week before, and then it's going to continue. They'll be shut off while he performs, and then be open until 9 o'clock. And the program is an hour. It's only an hour, 7 to 8 p.m. And the silent auction is open prior to that.
Yeah. Well, again, so many things going on and so many, challenges, so to speak, but the need, it doesn't go away. At all. And
it's amazing that you say that, because I have philanthropists that say, when is it enough? And I said, it's not enough until everyone gets what they need. And unfortunately, there's actually more need now, but the need even pre-COVID was bigger than people realize, in neighborhoods that people don't realize where people are struggling.
Yeah. So again, people can't, your website, I was looking, I've been on your website, was looking at it too, just before we, started chatting, lots of information on there for people to find out more about who you are, how to donate, how to give back. But one way is to attend the 50th anniversary gala that is virtual this year.
Yes, and it was all like planning a whole new event. It will be fun. It's mostly virtual. There is a little live portion of it, and we'll hope to see everyone there.
Yeah. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for joining me today. And we'll definitely connect after the new year and kind of see where things are at with One World Community Health Centers, and see, how else we can help your organization.
Thank you. We appreciate the time, and come and watch us and learn about us.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you everyone for joining me today. You can find out more about Metro Magazine and so many wonderful nonprofits. Go to spiritofomaha.com, and please follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, Metro Magazine, all one word. We'll be posting a lot of information there as well. Thank you, and we will see you back here next week.